Oh, I chose not to do that.
Do you think we should and shouldn't?
Go for it. I just chose not to do it.
Okay.
You get all the retweets, bro.
Yeah, I know, right? I got the straight hub. All right, so we're in there. We'll give it a second.
I'm digging my lighting, bro.
I know your lighting's like hella sick. Like, this is like completely by accident too. Huh?
There's delay on our voices.
There is.
Yeah.
Microphone check.
Yeah, Abe's lighting is dope as shit.
That's only because one of them is like a different type of light bulb that's just shooting out like orangey colors.
Delayed?
Yeah, it's off. I don't know how
That's
off
weird.
it is.
It's never off. This is why I don't stream.
1, 2, 3.
Ren said it was good now. Uh-oh. And Storis is pissed.
No, yeah, it's still off.
Man.
But let me refresh and see if it changes. I doubt it's going to change.
Wow, it's like frozen for me. It's good now. Okay, it's good now. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, we should be fine now. I think. I don't know why, but like they like crashed for me on my browser. So that's weird. Twitch is weird. I don't know. Anyway, so welcome to the first and probably only pre KOF 14 WCS analyst show, I guess you would call it. Like we're just gonna hopefully get some last minute anecdotes in on some of the players that'll be attending tomorrow's SoCal Regionals 2016 qualifier for the King of Fighters 14 World Championship Cup. Man,
World Championship Cup.
I feel like that just like came together like really quickly this year too, and like we're already like trying to like keep up with it.
Can't we just call it the KOF Cup?
That's what I'm thinking. Like I wouldn't call it the Cough Cup. I feel like that sounds like, you know, it sounds a little too campy, but KOF Cup definitely seems a little easier on the tongue. Anyway, as a lot of people know or probably don't know, because you don't know, I have a Facebook page dedicated to myself because I'm egomaniacal like that. I had a little write-up today, and I'll link that in chat if you haven't seen it yet, of what I expect to occur or what I'm looking at to occur tomorrow or a Friday as the KOF Cup. I'm just gonna call it KOF Cup. Fuck it. As the KOF Cup begins and the qualifiers, the first North American U.S. qualifiers kicks off tomorrow or whenever they start it, and I wanted to know what everybody else thought about it. I figured, you know, I have my picks. I know who I'm looking for, but there are a lot of people showing up to this thing, and obviously I can't, you know, pick all the obvious winners. You know, there's a lot of people there that have a very high chance of like going pretty far in it. At a glance, though, you know, I had my eyes on Shanghai, of course, who just, you know, came from Southeast Asian majors and winning the second qualifier for KOF Cup, because the first was in Central America, I believe.
The first was in Mexico, I believe, 2 weeks ago. It was the same week they announced the events. So it was a day or two after they announced the event.
Do we even know who won?
I forgot. I remember I was given the information, but I forgot. I can figure it out. Find it all again and see what's up.
Because I gotta be honest, I didn't hear anything about it, and it sounds like it might have happened retroactively. Which, you know, it's fine. They were pressed for time, and you know, somebody gets.
I feel like it would have been like a really big deal, though. Like,
yeah,
somebody would have been like, "Oh, so and so made it." One of the first qualifiers ever, and if if that person wins, right, they get paid flight and all that stuff.
I would assume so. I mean, the other funny thing is like, you know, does that person even know they won? Like, like how many people know about this? Oh man.
What if they scratch it in the background? They're like, I don't think they know. You know what? Let's move it to another qualifier. Yo, fuck that.
Like, that's
hey, we
just
didn't even know who the fuck that guy was anyway.
Anybody got this contact number? Nobody even know who that was. That would be amazing. But Shanghai just won his spot at the Southeast Asian Majors, and that's not even the first KOF 14 tournament, like high profile tournament that he won. He won the Evo 2016 side tournament, like pretty convincingly, and that nail biter against El Rosa. And on top of that, this guy's already got a qualifying spot for Cap Cup. So,
the interesting thing about him is he is a traveling player.
Yep.
Like, he has the means to travel probably to every qualifier event. So I don't know, are you aware if he's going to Canada Cup at all?
I would assume he is. I feel like Canada Cup is still large enough to pull in players like Shanghai for at least Street Fighter 5. I don't know if it's still a premier spot though.
Because I mean, the dude has a really good chance of winning that too. You know,
right.
How sick is this though? Like, you could be a player that qualifies for Capcom Cup and qualifies for a totally different game for an all-expense paid trip to go compete in the championship.
In two different places.
Dude, this is like a record year. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, yeah. That's so sick.
It's amazing.
You need to you need to do this right. So SCR is gonna have Tekken qualifier. It's going to have KOF qualifier. It's going to have Capcom Cup qualifier, and I believe it's also a KI qualifier. I could be wrong on that, but I know they're doing something for KI. And then Mortal Kombat has a $10,000 pot donated by, I believe, Warner Brothers.
Damn, I feel like Shanghai could win all of those.
Well, Shanghai definitely has the potential to win all of those. Yeah. Will he win all of those? Yeah, of course. But you know, it's one of those things where it's just you gotta just roll the die and figure out if.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Hold on. What did it land on? What did she land on? Shanghai's chances of winning everything is a 12. Ooh, that's a good chance.
Man,
did you roll die or did you roll bones?
Oh man, look, man, this is rolling bones. That's rolling bones, right? There's a difference.
Yeah, so I said in my write-up that Shanghai is very clearly poised to dominate both KOF and do damage in Street Fighter 5, and it's quite possible that and I don't know the rules on this. I don't know if, you know, SNK has made any rules in case that a qualifying player qualifies again. Like, does it default to the second place person? Like, I feel like it would in the first year. Like, that seems like the safe bet, especially when they only are boasting how many spots? Like, is it 16 or 4? Have we ever figured that out?
We don't even know.
So they're saying 16. Yeah, they're saying 16 on the official trailer. So I mean, not the official trailer. I'm sorry. Atlas said 16, so I'm gonna go with 16 on this.
I'm gonna go with 16 also. That's like the first official statement that we got. So they got 16 spots. So I don't think they're gonna do 16 qualifiers, and I would assume that they're gonna take maybe 1 or 2 people from each one. So
I kind of got an issue with this whole thing in that why does it seem so damn ambiguous as to how thing's gonna go down? Like, even though they say this is how it's gonna be, how come we get that sense like, well, I feel like it might not be that way? Like, that's kind of a problem, right?
The issue right now is lack of communication and lack of information. It all hasn't been laid out for us, and this was also an issue with Capcom Cup when it was first announced.
I mean, yeah, so, I don't think we even got any information on that until recently.
Capcom Cup or KOF 14?
The CPT finals. Like, we didn't get even like a date and time until like a week ago.
Yeah, CPT finals, we didn't get a date or time until last week or 2 weeks ago. But what I'm talking about is just general information. So CPT, the first year or two it was held, we didn't get all the information needed at first, and then like it just came in throughout the year. Or like this year, we didn't get rules for CPT until
we brought it up.
Yeah, like, I think we got it a month before Evo, or like May or some shit.
It's because they was having such a hard time writing up that whole thuggery thing. They gotta give it a lot of thought.
I mean, you ain't lying, shit. After what happened,
we need to be careful with what words we use to describe people. Thuggery sounds right. Perfect. Thuggery.
I mean,
nobody vetoed that.
God. Yeah, they obviously like, I will never say they didn't know what they were doing, but this is their first year, and so maybe they were just like a little more cautious, and being cautious sometimes puts you behind the gun as far as timing goes, scheduling goes. So sometimes you're just like, hey, well, you know, we finally got our rules out there, and oh shit, that tournament already happened. All right.
And that's another issue with KOF 14 or KOF 14 World Cup. The KOF Cup. We're just going to refer to it as the KOF Cup.
That's much easier to say.
So as of right now, there's no set rules of any kind that we know of. Someone already qualified. Another player is going to qualify this weekend, and then in 2 weeks, someone's going to qualify a Canada Cup. SNK announced that they submitted the new patch, the new balance patch for KOF 14 yesterday or 2 days ago. So between now and the finals, it's going to be a different game.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is pretty crazy.
And an issue is going to come up where, hypothetically, let's say Canada Cup. I'm just going to throw out a name. Let's say any of them. Let's say SCR Canada Cup. Their Josh wins. Their Josh uses Nakurudu, Loveheart, Mai, and he uses very specific characters that are considered top tier, high tier, whatever you want to say. If the three of those characters get toned down, or let's just say he does it all on the back of Nakurudu, and she gets completely toned down from what she is right now, people are going to complain. They're like, oh, well, he got it on the old version. He doesn't deserve to be here, and all that dumb crap.
Yeah, I can see that happening right now, and the weird part is, like, they're right, you know? Like, I won't say that he doesn't deserve to be here. That's ignorant, but he definitely did get in on a different game, you know? It's not the same rule set. I mean, they could be as, you know, subtle about the changes as possible, but there's always the argument that something's different. So at the same time, I'm also like, yeah, but, you know, how much time do we have between the release and then Canada Cup, you know? There's enough time to at least adjust to a certain amount of things. I don't think they're going to change everything so dramatically that you just have to rethink how you play the game. You might have to change some characters at the worst, but I don't think you're going to have to be like, you know, this is no longer a KOF rushdown game. All of a sudden, it's like super heavy zoning. Like, they went all the way to the left with that.
Well, I kind of feel like this is how I feel about the whole KOF Cup. So it's kind of a real deal thing. I mean, kind of, it is. It's a real deal thing, and despite how people might feel before or after the patch, if like using characters like Nakaruru or Athena or whoever, like it's serious, man. Like, if you wanna qualify for KOF's own tournament, then you do what you gotta do. I mean, if you're gonna go play at other tournaments, play whoever you want to play. But ultimately, you want to make it to that stage, you gotta do whatever you can, you know. And I can't fault anybody for playing the best characters to try to win. Now, you may say after they get past, say, Nakaru's most likely gonna get balanced out, right? Well, then so what? He has everything in his power to go and do research and practice to get the other characters that are possibly better in that build to do what he's got to do, and then the same argument's gonna happen. So I ain't mad at it, man. I totally am with it. Like, do something about it is what I would say.
Yeah. Like, block his minute spike.
And then we don't have any information on when the finals are being held, right?
No, or where they're being held. So it's almost like we're in the, I mean, that seems to be like a theme with these, like, you know, budding fighting game turned esports tours, is that they will get some dates for qualifiers, but as far as like the final showdown goes, it's never really set in stone until like pretty late in the game, I would say, you know? Like, I think, you know, I think that if we knew by now where it was going to be at, we could be doing a ton of advertising at this point. You know, we could be having contests to send people out there just to watch. You know, like there's things that you could plan ahead for, but right now it's just kind of like, well, I guess you better plan to go to one of the qualifiers and hope that it's a really fun tournament. You know,
and that's another thing. You want spectators. How are spectators going to know where to like? They want to plan now. They want to plan as soon as possible to go to this thing. Rather than like, oh, hey guys, we're going to be holding it in, I don't know, let's just say Lancaster, California. And then everyone's like, well, shit, it's like 2 weeks out, a month out. And they just said it's in Lancaster. I can't afford to fly out to Lancaster. Yeah. Who wants to go to Lancaster? Shit like that. So,
and I think like people, oh, keep going, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully they announce time and or like a date and a venue by the end of this month, or at least at Canada Cup. One of the other Canada Cup is the end of the month.
Right, I think they should. I think they'll at least after Canada Cup they'll have their final qualifier place if they are only doing one more. If there's more, then holy shit, you know, you really gotta pack them in because this is supposed to happen early 2017. Like,
I believe so.
That's like 3 months away technically. Anyway, getting past that, I did want to talk about the players some more. Other than Shanghai, we kind of got off track there. I think that, you know, he probably, based on history, he's probably the most dangerous person in the bracket right now. Probably second most dangerous is, I would say Reynolds, but I actually think it's Luis Cha. Because
Luis Cha plays a very solid, clean KOF.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have not been dealing with that very well. He's pretty much the man to beat in SoCal right now. And I think it suits his playstyle like really well. This whole game, I think that this is pretty. I wouldn't say that it's made for him, but he doesn't seem to be struggling with the transition from 13 to 14 at all. You know, and we saw that even as far back as E3 when he was playing in that little demo thing that they were running at the Wednesday Night Fights venue. Esports Arena. And he was just kind of like a duck in water on it. And I was like, man, this guy probably will get a lot further in this game early than most people touching it, you know? And so
I think it actually brought to light, like, this game, how fundamentally sound Luis Cha is. Because in 13, there wasn't a lot of opportunities for people to show off like real strong fundamentals. You know, you can probably see that within the first round, like see the separation of skill level in that, but then after that it's like, well, who's got a better mix-up game and stuff like that, and who can open somebody up better. But in this game it allows him to have so many opportunities to outclass other players. And he's been effectively able to do that, and in a way that he's not even maxing out the potential of his characters. And that's probably the thing that a lot of the SoCal players are notorious for, is not really maxing out potential of their characters, but more depending on their fundamental skills.
Yeah.
Which is not 100% bad, but it's like you could be more, and they don't really dig in like that, you know?
I think, you know, as far as he goes, like, yeah, there's that sort of level. And I said in the write-up that he's always on the cusp of greatness, but probably what holds him back is just what you said. Like, he's one of those guys that just doesn't really break out of that mold. And I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that while he's like super fundamentally sound, he's not the most creative player.
No.
You know, like, I don't really see a lot of like amazing setups from him. I don't see a lot of like amazing adaptation. Like, I know he can adapt. How fast he can adapt, I have never really seen him do it like in the middle of a match. Usually it takes like a loss for him to you know, kind of get his feet back on the ground.
Yeah.
But he's never really been like that, you know, that player that scares you because he did something crazy and you don't know if it's really that good. And it turns out it is good, you know. Like, he doesn't invent things on the spot, more or less, which isn't like a bad thing, but I think that's what holds him back from being like the god tier echelon of player, you know. Like, I'll rarely ever see anybody say, "Did you see what Luis Cha did in tournament? It was amazing." That's how people are playing KOF from now on.
So to segue from a guy that is not very creative but very solid, let's think back to the 13 era and somebody that had similar success playing a similar way. And to that, I want to mention Romance. Now, Romance, to me, he's a great player, but he's not a very creative player. He kind of falls into the same bracket. However, in comparison, when you compare him to somebody that is like a very radical player or a very creative player like Reynolds, possibly one of the most creative, there's a lack of consistency here that makes it difficult for a player like Reynolds to win. Now, granted, when Reynolds is on, to me, I feel like he's like the most unbeatable guy ever, you know. But at the end of the day, who keeps winning more of these tournaments? And if you think back to the 13 era, it was definitely Luis Cha, Romance, and now it's Luis Cha taking the bread and butter almost every time.
Has Luis Cha taken Wednesday Night Fights with Reynolds there yet?
I don't think so.
Because I want to say Reynolds won every, outside of the Evo tournament, Reynolds won every KO 14 tournament he's been at so far.
The only one I know he lost was last night's, and Shanghai took that.
Oh, he was there last night?
Apparently. People were saying he was playing Joe, which was, you know, I'll get into that more in a second, but yeah, as far as I know, Luis Cha has been the guy at the top of the mountain every week. I know El Rosa, when he was out here, he definitely was doing some real threat work, and he's another guy to be worried about. He's another guy to be scared of, obviously. Cannibelito definitely transitioned from basically being the torchbearer after KOF 13 kind of, I wouldn't say fizzled out, but it definitely fell out of grace with the Evo crowd. And he was one of the people that was, you know, he really started coming into his own in the game around that era. We saw that begin in SCR 2014 when, you know, he famously beat Reynolds, or you could say Reynolds beat himself trying to go for that chin mix up every chance he got.
You mean the 50 times he went for that same exact?
Yeah,
and the thing with that, Reynolds knew he did that. He's like, yeah, I just kept trying the same things. Like, he didn't say like, I don't know why I lost. He's like, yeah, I just kept trying the same mix up over and over. I kept trying to do it. I don't know why. I didn't really ask him, but just, yeah.
And so I think Cannibelito is I mean, I think he's definitely another person to look out for. But I do want to segue, since we didn't bring him up, obviously, into Reynolds, who is you know, obviously a friend of ours, friend of the show, whatever show that is, and and you know, like he's probably the prime example of an originator in his field. You know, he's had so many amazing performances, both in and out of Evo, for about, you know, ever since 2011 at this point. We've had him, we've seen him win Evo, we've seen him make top 8 at Evo the year before that, and during that time he was actually showing signs that he was going to defeat the guy who ended up winning Evo, when he was actually the one that was punishing a lot of Mad KOF's dual on setups. And nobody else really tried what he was doing, and that just goes to show you that, you know, you can be a creative player, but that doesn't mean everybody can do what you do. So he's definitely in a class all his own, both in terms of how he thinks and how he can execute. But as we also said, probably the biggest downside to him is the only person that can really beat Reynolds is Reynolds. When Reynolds feels like, when he gets it in his head that he wants to make something work, or he wants to see if something works, and he wants to see if it works in a high intensity environment, he's gonna do it until there's either no more life on the screen, or until, you know, it actually works, and then he might do it again.
He's the type of dude that it's like, if he sees you win, like he sees you like being successful, right, and he feels like, I'm that much better than you, like, and then I enter the tournament and then I lose. Like, that's the only time where you see the real challenge of the real Reynolds come out. Cause like, I don't know where this comes from. Like, like his capacity mentally is so vast. Like, I've never played anybody like that. And, well, saying that because I've never played top players in other games, but in KOF, to me, he's the only guy that's like that. That can mentally have that capacity to just flip the game on its head while he's playing. I mean, like a great example was when he played grand final, or not grand finals, but top 8, all of top 8. I'm not just talking about grand finals. If you watch all of top 8, was it 2013 when he won? It's ridiculous, dude. Like, he almost lost a bunch of times. Like, a lot of matches were close, but it should never be close for Reynolds. It should never be close, man. Like, he's so ridiculous. But like you said, he is his own enemy. And it's really like a constant challenge for him to be like, all right, I gotta turn on the jets. But fortunately for him, he does have clutch in him. He has that ability.
Yeah, super clutch.
Oh, he's got the clutch gene like Kobe.
Oh yeah,
dude.
I mean,
it's real. I mean, the dude is a champ. He won.
Oh no, he definitely is.
Champ. So, but yeah, man, it's just, it depends. Like, Reynolds is the type of dude that will show up at the championship, but like will suck all through season, or not suck, but like won't really perform at the level he should.
You know? No, I hear you. I feel you on that. And it'll be something like we look at him, we're like, dude, like he knows he's doing badly. Is he doing it on purpose? Like, is he just like there would be times when you watch this dude and you're like, is this dude just throwing away the match because he's salty about something real quick? Like, he's got something in his head. He'd rather be doing something else than playing this match right now. And the way he would lose,
dude.
The way he would lose, he would totally come out that way.
I mean, he's like a guy that needs to hit rock bottom before he like resurrects as like a star, man. Like, he's crazy.
He's got to be a phoenix every time, right? Oh man. Yeah. So like, I feel like if Reynolds can focus, and I'll just call it focus from now on, because like I don't think that he has a problem with knowing how to play the game and knowing what he wants to do, but he just needs to be able to focus on the actual win. And that's something that, you know, his team has talked to him about endlessly. So he definitely knows that there's going to be work time and there's going to be play time. Now, the thing is, once it's work time, if he gets to work, I think that this guy, like, if it's not just his execution, if it's not just his creativity, it's his ability to harness momentum, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this guy scares you so much once he starts, like, if it's feeling himself, if it's just like, you know, firing on all cylinders, the synapses are going all over the place, like, he just holds on to that and he doesn't let go. And we saw that against Wu in 2013, where, you know, overall Wu's game plan hadn't changed at all, but it had just run up against like this immovable object that was Reynolds' momentum.
I haven't seen anybody get mentally crushed like that in a long time.
Yeah.
Like, this dude stopped anti-airing. He stopped breaking throws. He was getting baited for everything. Prior to that, he was anti-airing everything, breaking every throw, calling out every setup. Like, it's crazy. He did a total 180, and that was off of Reynolds' sheer momentum and his ability to just take over. So, I mean, we keep talking about him, but it's because he is that much of a big deal. And I think anybody that's played him in a serious setting knows that, like, the scariest person to play against is Reynolds.
Especially when he's hot. Like, if he's hot off the three, like if he's coming out of loser's bracket and he's just blowing past people, like, you're in trouble. Like, you are not in a good position going into winners finals or grand finals and winners, you know?
I mean, but like, in saying that, his lack of consistency really leaves it open for anybody else to win, man.
Yeah. That's always been a problem. And that actually raises an important point about the other player who could be favored to win Shanghai. He's lacked consistency, not necessarily in KOF, but in Street Fighter V. And obviously, this is a Street Fighter V premier event, and he's probably showing up to win Street Fighter V and take home some of that money. I can't imagine that that's not a distraction, you know? Doesn't mean that it's going to be like a huge one and it's going to change the way he plays, but it's on his mind, you know?
Yeah, the way you have to look at it, Shanghai already qualified for KOF, the KOF Cup, that is, with Seam. but he's going to focus more on Street Fighter. He already said he's going to win. Mm. So he didn't specifically say what game he's going to win, but he said he's going to win. And knowing Xiaohai and how just sure of himself he is, I don't want to say cocky or arrogant. He's just that sure of his skills.
Yeah.
He's talking about both games. He definitely is, and I'm sure that he's putting more effort into Street Fighter V because just the simple fact is there's more competition in Street Fighter V for him than there is in King of Fighters. He's a more dominant player in KOF than he is in Street Fighter. And while he's up there as one of the best Street Fighter V players in the world right now, he doesn't have to focus as much on KOF because comparing the two games, he's a weaker Street Fighter player than he is a KOF player.
I would agree.
So he's going to have to focus more time and effort into Street Fighter. It's not saying he's bad in any way. It's just he's so goddamn good in King of Fighters that he doesn't have to worry too much about that.
Right. Now, the funny thing is, like, he's also, I mean, I don't know if this is, like, real or not, but he's going to be possibly up against the guy that he beat recently at that Brooklyn Beatdown tournament, Momochi, apparently entering KOF 14 pools. I believe he's been messing around with the game. I don't know how serious he's gotten about it. But Momochi is definitely the kind of guy who can adapt to a game like really quickly, and he's got a great mind for it, and it's really scary to play. And considering like the online tear that he went on for that's recently in Street Fighter V, like obviously he's gonna be focused on winning that, but I don't imagine he won't get out of KOF 14 without taking out some notable people.
They're gonna take him lightly, like they always do with people who aren't considered KOF players. And like it's so stupid because these guys that are top Street Fighter V players, you do know that they played almost every game back in the day. They played a lot of different types of games. So for you to hit them with stuff that's like, oh, well, I've never seen that before in a game. He can make so many type of mental references to all the games he's played in his career that he can come up with a solution. You know, it's not like us that we're just straight up KOF players, or I mean, I wouldn't even consider myself a straight up KOF player, but where it's like the primary thing that we do, and then I go play, I don't know, jack nothing about Virtual Fighter, and I go try to do that. Dude, I'm gonna get destroyed. There's like no way. I have no frame of reference for that, you know?
No, yeah, and if you go into KOF like that, obviously you run the high probability of getting destroyed as well. So Momochi's just not one of those guys, unfortunately. You know, no. we've for a long time seen people, like you say, come to KOF tournaments from outside of KOF, and we have the open arms for them. You know, we're like, oh yes, please come in and join us. You have a bigger name than anybody in our scene. You love fighting games in general, so you're a great addition to this community. But we're gonna take them cheeks, you know, because you don't play this game.
Take them cheeks,
you know, and then and then people get upset because all of a sudden Chris G's winning KOF 13 tournaments. You know.
Yeah, man.
And people are like, what happened? Well, how did this happen? Did we just let him off the hook like 8 times in a row? Like, come on. So it's real. Like people want KOF 14 to be treated like a real competitive fighting game. They have to understand that real competitive fighting game players are going to be good at it. And so I would not want to fight Momochi in brackets. Just simply because, you know, this guy is so used to playing patiently, more patiently than a KOF player. Probably better at blocking. The only thing I could probably bet on is like some question mark gimmick that he obviously wouldn't know about, but he probably would adapt to it immediately.
You know what's interesting about Street Fighter V, and I kind of been going over this in my head, is I feel that it actually has a lot more similarities to KOF than Street Fighter 4. And the way I make that connection is that it's a game where you have so many options that if you try to stick to a very rigid way of playing, one of those options is going to get blown up. So, for example, you notice in Street Fighter V that people aren't anti-airing as good as they used to in Street Fighter 4, right? And they blame the input lag, which is legit. However, I think even if that were to get taken away, there's just so many options in Street Fighter V that you lose focus on a lot of things, you know? And that's very common in KOF. That you can't constantly be covering every single ground all the time. Like, they're constantly coming at you from the air, so you start worrying about the air. Then you forget about the ground game, and you forget about the throw game. And, you know, there's so many options that you could get hit with that you're constantly cycling through your head. And KOF players are used to that type of stuff. So it's not surprising that a person like Xiao Hai has become dominant in Street Fighter. I mean, he already has the ability, but the mental capacity he has, because he has that way of thinking, has really helped him out. And when you see these type of players that can cycle through all these strategies so quickly, you see that they can adapt to pretty much any game.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty strong way of putting that. Like, I think I think a lot of that has to do with, you know, just overall talent, you know? Like, I don't think that there's I don't think there's any way that people can actually just learn to be that, you know, that good. I think they just have to be that good, you know?
I think also it's, do you have the mental capacity to
that too, yeah,
to be able to run through that much information in your head? You know, do you have enough knowledge about the game to even pull from your own mind those ideas? So the way I like to think of it is like, your brain is like a funnel, right? I think you from practicing, you learn certain things. You from reading up on stuff, you have this certain amount of knowledge. Now, when you play in a game, everything is split second. You have to make split second decisions, and your brain pretty much makes those decisions for you on the fly. It gives you the answer, but are you capable enough to be able to have the clearest answer versus everybody else? You know, you might have it kind of foggy. You know, like, what do I do in this situation? I don't know. Versus a Xiao Hai, what do you do? Uppercut. I'm not even questioning it. That's what it is. You know, there's so much that goes into not just his ability, but his history as to how he learned and all the stuff that he's been able to compete in. So that all goes into how your mind can adapt to the situation. And if you look at these top players, not only are they conditioned to think differently, but they're also conditioned as how much knowledge that they have, that they can cycle through.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's a hard mountain to climb for somebody who obviously just is coming in there with just raw gumption, you know?
I know, man. I'm dumb, dude. I'm never gonna be able to do that. Come on, dude. Like, chewing bubblegum and walking's hard.
What do you think, Gibby? You think you can take somebody out if they're too smart?
Yeah. You play dumb, you take out smart people.
That's true. There's definitely, like, you know, some benefit to playing dumb. Like, they for sure, like, you know, like, smart people are expecting smart things to happen sometimes, you know? I think that's another reason why Reynolds might do well, because some people expect him to just be like up here, and then he's actually just down here, like, all the time. And maybe up and every now and then he just comes up real quick just to, like, surprise you, and then he's just back down here again. And
dude, you know what I think is Reynolds' actual, like, talent, with something that, like, you really can't train, that is just great for him? He has a level of sensitivity to his opponents, that he can pick up things a lot easier. Like, he just can pick up patterns and can read you better, and that all has to do with, like, how much information can I discern from this one moment, and that in itself is very hard to do.
Oh yeah. You
know, like, I don't even know how you can train that. A lot of people, everybody can do it, but other people can do it better. And I just don't know how somebody that has none of that capability can knock down a dude like that. Like, he just has that skill, you know? Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason why he's so good at just playing in the mud sometimes. Right. Sometimes he's just like, he just throw himself down in the dirt and he's just like, oh crap, we're like, you know, we're down here together, huh? Inversely, my favorite player in KOF history, Four Leaf, cannot do that at all. Four Leaf is just like, oh man, like I wouldn't say Four Leaf is in the mud. He's more like just like he's tilling the fields, man. Like he's just constantly grinding it.
He's a computer program set on random.
Basically, yeah, man. Like he's like so many algorithms to like choose an answer, and like none of them are right.
Yeah.
But I mean, Gibby tells me all the time that back in the day, RJ was somebody to be worried about, and I still think he is. I think he has sparks of brilliance. Like when he's on, there's times where I'm like, holy crap, is that the same guy? And this was back in 13 days,
Dude, do you remember when 13, the original version, I think, or one of the original versions, the arcade version before it came out on console, they had it at Evo, and he played Bala and he almost beat him.
Yep.
But some BS happened, and
he did beat him.
Oh, okay.
It was OCD.
Yeah.
And when Bala was at 33% health with his last character, like Bala just threw up his hands like this and said, "There's something wrong with his control." And the match was supposed to go to RJ, no matter what. But he decided not to take it, and I told him, "No, you have to take it." And then everyone is louder than I am because my voice is very soft. So they decided to say, "Screw it, let's just start over."
No!
Yeah, I said, "Screw this shit."
Wait a minute.
And then Bala ended up 2-0ing him.
Isn't that what I did to him?
RJ's a nice guy.
I love that
bro. That room was lit.
Oh
as far as like how all of us were there, were playing, I wanted to punch somebody in the face. I couldn't believe that went down. And then at the same time, it's like when he was like, "Nah, it's cool, we'll do it over." I was like, "No, dude,
you had him."
No.
Like my favorite is I was like, "Hey, you have to take the match. Like no matter whether you like it or not, you have to take it." And then people who aren't even involved in the tournament are like, "No, he doesn't want to take it. That's it. He doesn't. He doesn't want to take it, so he's not taking it. He can't take it." I'm like, "What?"
Hey, the true scumbags came on everybody, and I was like, good to know. Not fucking with you. Not fucking with you.
Oh no! So you're basically telling me is that Four Leaf could have been Bala. That was like the turning point, right? And he lost his mojo after that, I guess.
Well, I guess everybody lost their mojo after that because he proceeded to like never lose for like over a year or at least a year.
Took everybody's freaking mojo like and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take your money too."
I think after that point, Bala won every single KOF 13 tournament except for maybe 1 or 2 at UCI, and then he lost at Evo. And Evo, he lost, and you could see the breakdown. It wasn't as bad as Wu's breakdown the following year, but you visibly saw Bala just. Oh,
he was sweating, man.
Yeah, he lost his cool. He was like legit sweating bullets.
Yep.
He had like, I don't want to say nervous tics, but he wasn't himself.
He was jittery. Like there was that moment where a lot of people talk about the Takuma comeback in 2012. And I watch that video all the time, and I always get to that part, and I'm just like, this is the sloppiest round of KOF 13 I've ever seen in my life. Like he finally got somewhere. He finally gets some real estate inside of Mad KOF's head, so much that he just gets Mad KOF to throw the match away with a wake up Hinzon from nowhere, like nowhere near close Bala's vicinity, and he punishes him with a grab that could have been tech. Now it's just like. Yeah, they're just spaghetti right now. It's all Play-Doh. It's all Play-Doh, brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, we took a little dip into KOF history on that one.
Yeah, no, that's always fun to do.
Yeah, talking about the greats.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been asking if Ball will ever come back, and it's kind of up in the air. I don't even think I heard somebody was mentioning that he was actually asking for help for a way to attend other outside of America events, so he might be trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, from my understanding, he wants to go to events, but I'm hearing that he wants to go to events outside of the States, like because it's easier for him to travel from different countries from his main country.
Right.
Just like U.S. If you're a U.S. citizen, it's easier to travel outside of the U.S. from the U.S. than it is from another country.
Right. So I mean, he might show up at the Canada Cup qualifier. You never know.
He could. I don't know if anyone's helping him, but it would be nice. The only issue is, we don't know how good of a player he is in this.
Right.
And while he was very dominant the first year or two, or the first year of console KOF, when he went to Mexico, he wasn't as dominant anymore. And it's a mix of the players out there being good, obviously, but at the same time, he wasn't the same player. His heart wasn't in it anymore, and he just didn't put the time or effort into it as he used to.
Mm. And it was kind of sad to see.
He played significantly less.
Yeah, he played significantly less, and we all know that he had personal issues to attend to. So I don't think anybody was surprised when he not necessarily fell off, but just stopped showing up to events. So
so besides the guys that we've talked about so far, are there any other players that you'd like to mention? It's like, well, I think this guy's pretty good too. Probably gonna shine at the tournament.
I mean, Yoshi, yeah.
Yes.
I think
Yoshi has a phenomenal Athena. He is a solid player overall, and he knows the game he knows King of Fighters very well. Mm-hmm. He has a great chance of just not. I don't want to say shocking anyone, but since many people don't know who he is, he can definitely shock people. Him and Chris KOF.
Chris KOF does show.
That's my favorite player.
Yeah,
especially in 13 era. That was he's
my favorite guy.
Yeah, there you go. Let's upgrade him. Favorite dude.
Favorite guy. No, Chris KOF for real. Like, you know, one of the most, I won't even say slept on, because everybody who came to a tournament that was at, they knew who he was. But probably one of the most underrated, one of the most unsung heroes of KOF, especially in the 13 era. I mean, there's absolutely nothing about him that says incapable, you know? The things that this guy pulls off are like, they're unlike anything that I have seen from his party of players, you know?
Yeah. He has that creative ability that we're talking about. He's one of the most creative dudes out of that group. Hands down. He has a different way of looking at the game that to be honest with you, I think does the whole group that he plays with a huge favor, because he's the one guy doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, he exposes them to stuff they probably wouldn't be exposed to if it was in tournament. And he does have a big drive to want to be really good. I mean, every time we've talked to him, he knows that he has the ability. It's just the opportunity, is it there for him? And the only times he can have that opportunity is at a big event when he could put aside time for it, and that would be SCR. So I'd imagine he'd be going into this thinking it's a really big deal.
And like I think the other thing is, like, a lot of people wonder if somebody like Chris KOF aspires to be on that international level. You know, you have to talk about people who will go and travel, like you say, travel to events out of their country, out of their state, out of their city, even to compete. I don't know if Chris KOF is one of those people by trade. I don't know if he ever, quote unquote, wants to go esports, but he definitely seems capable of doing it. You know, you ever hear those stories about, like, oh, you know, we know these good players in this area that nobody knows about, and you show up and play them, and they actually are pretty damn good. He's like one of those people.
Yeah, man, I agree. What are your opinions, since we're about to go through a balance patch real soon, on players that are famously placing pretty high because they're using, or people say because they're using those characters? I'll throw it out there, like a dude like Nerd Josh. What do you guys think about his chances in this tournament?
I think Josh is going to do fine. I mean, obviously he pretty much got the world hip to Nakaruru back at CEO, and it only continued, and it didn't get any better, really. But overall, like, his drive to play the game has nothing to do with her. I don't think that he likes this game just because of Knack at all. I think he just likes the game in general, and he'll play who he has to play to A, enjoy himself, and B, win. So if Knack allows him to do both right now, then he's going to play Knack. If somebody else later on allows him to do that, then he's going to play them, you know? Like, Josh has never been the type of player who, you know, yeah, he looks for cheap stuff, for sure. And he'll find it. He's got a great nose for that. But he gets a chance to play 3 different characters here, and I'm pretty sure he'll find a way to adjust and adapt, because that's the kind of player he is. He's one of those kind of players that, you know, like I said, he's a pro fighting game player. So he's going to play like a professional. He's not going to play like a guy who's mad that his favorite character got nerfed.
I think that Josh is going to do really well. And for the simple reason that though he does play a way where he takes advantage a lot of the strong stuff that these characters have, I think he does it in a way that really forces you as a player to think, do I know this matchup as much as I thought I did? You know, because obviously there's something different that he's doing that other Nakarus aren't doing. That's why he's placing so high. I mean, you have to give him that, right? I mean, you look at other tournaments, he's placing much higher than other people that are playing similar teams. So you can't take that guy for granted.
No,
you know?
I mean, this guy goes down to Texas and he gets in the grand finals against Vicio. You know, and Texas has a great KOF scene.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's definitely not all the character. It's definitely just some things that Josh knows. Anyway, what do you think, Gibby?
Josh is a solid player, and he can definitely do well. The thing is, we saw this at CEO Otaku. He relies too much on his character gimmicks, like the silly stuff that Nakudo, Love Heart, and might have, and he doesn't so much adapt to his opponent yet, which is something he tends to do fairly well in every other game, but he didn't do it, and he just fell back and relied on the same thing over and over, even though it wasn't working. He could have won. He could have went further than he did. Probably made it to grand finals. Could have even won, but I don't want to say he's stubborn. It's just he just didn't change anything up. Just stuck to his guns, and it didn't work out for him in the end. There's going to be more higher caliber players at SCR than there were at CEO Otaku. So I don't know. He definitely can make it into top 8. Can he win? No, I don't think he can win this, but he can definitely make it into top 8 and possibly even top 4.
I think if he makes it into top 8 at this tournament, like, he's officially legit if he wasn't before. You know? Well,
yeah, because I'm looking at some of the names right now that are in the tournament. So apparently, currently, there's only 83 people registered for KOF 14, and it's stacked in terms of like good players. So we'll see how far he makes it. I'm trying to see whose bracket he's in. I don't understand how they do this. Let me see. But yeah, he's a great player. He can most likely adapt later on when everything gets fleshed out more. Oh, here you go. This is better. Pool 4. He's in the Rosa, Prinny, Josh, Pizarro. So he's got 3. He's got Prinny, who's a good player, Rosa, who's a proven high-level player, and Pizarro, who he doesn't really show up to much anymore, but he is a good player.
Yeah, I actually played him at Evo 2012, and surprisingly, I almost won, but yeah, he got me.
Yeah, and that's for those who don't know, that's Chris KOS' brother.
Yeah.
He's
the bloodline?
The bloodline, man. The bloodline.
He gets the bloodline buff?
The Uchihas. I also want to mention, like, I'm not sure how far they'll go, but I'm kind of hoping that they play each other again. But KCO Pedro and ON Vicio, they've played each other at every tournament, it feels like. And they always put on an amazing show. I feel like that's like the rivalry right now is Colorado and Texas, and if it's just between those two, then fine, you know. But like, I love seeing those two guys mix it up at any time. So if anybody can rig the brackets to make those two meet, like maybe in semis, then
in SCR, Vicio said he's not going to be at SCR this year.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to Canada Cup instead. He says he's more concerned with making it into the KOF Cup, that he feels his chances are higher in Canada.
I mean, he's probably right. You know, if he goes to Canada Cup and the only person there is like him and Karn and Air and
dude,
probably Shanghai.
What if there was like a super obscure qualifier like in Russia or some shit, and they're like, dude, I'm going to Russia because I know nobody's going, and I'm trying to take the cup because if I get in, I'm in.
Look, no matter how you get in, no matter how you get in, you got in.
Yeah, you're part of history. You're part of history, regardless. They gotta pay for you to come out there, Like, there's like dudes that are like going to the European Last Chance qualifier for Street Fighter V, and they're all from Japan.
Yeah, I know.
Like you scum.
Yeah, it's real, bro.
It's a real hustle.
But yeah, man, he wants to see how he fares in the cold winter. Good for him, man. He has the ability to do it. Go for it. Like I said, I can't fault anybody for doing their absolute best and using all the resources to get what they need, or get where they want to be. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's unfortunate that he won't be at SDR, but Casio Pedro, definitely another person that we have seen do some work. He won the online tournament,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he can make top 8 though. I don't think he's quite top 8 material with this this bracket the way it is. But yeah. I mean, if he does make it, holy crap,
He definitely has a good shot to make top 8. He is in Momochi's bracket.
Yeah.
Looking through, I don't know if these brackets are finalized, but he's got Momochi and Xiaohai.
Oof.
And then he played loser of this bracket.
Look, man, I'll tell you what. A dude like Pedro, you'd have to think for himself. This is a really important opportunity to prove himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in this stream that we're doing right now, we're a little more inclined towards a lot of the SoCal dudes, and I know that he knows that. And even the times he's come before, we're like, well, I gotta beat him. I gotta beat all these guys. Like, I have to, because it's such a big deal. So this is finally an opportunity where he's had enough time playing KOF to develop his skill level, that I really feel that this, if he ever had an opportunity to prove himself, that this definitely is the tournament for him, as a way to measure himself against best and to see where he's actually at, and I feel like it's gonna be that way for a lot of the players that we're not even considering in contention, that they're really good, is just they haven't proven themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel those players are out there, Casio Pedro or VCO, if he was able to go. I think this is an opportunity for those guys to showcase that they have the ability to take people out. Just like, you're talking about Four Leaf. Who knows, man?
Yeah.
Like, those dudes have that ability where it's like they're getting challenged to be able to turn on the jets and see if they can actually play, like, for real.
Yeah.
I think some of these people will probably come alive when cornered too. Like, if they feel like they literally got nothing to lose, they're gonna get bodied anyway, they might surprise you.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's what the tournament setting's for, right, man?
Yeah.
I mean, it brings out the best and worst in people.
100%, man. Like, and like, as commentators, you kind of love to see that stuff happen. You're just like, hey, here's a story for us to talk about. Start the violins.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's a good segue. Commentary for these things.
I mean, well, I guess I've already announced it like 8 times already, but I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
But you two are going to be holding it down, apparently.
I will be there.
You'll be there. Hopefully.
I know Gibby's going to be there.
I think
Gibby's a working man, and
yeah, I was supposed to leave today, but
dude, you gotta sleep. You gotta sleep this time. This can't be like Evo.
Well, that's the plan. I'm gonna sleep tonight. I'm gonna take care of a couple things because I was supposed to leave like 7-8 hours ago.
Oh, you're supposed to leave now?
No, I got the call that I'm not supposed to be there till tomorrow. So, or that they didn't need me today. And they want me tomorrow instead. So that's kind of screwed up some plans I had today. But yeah, I'll be there all 3 days. For sure, I'm commentating Saturday. I'm told that I'm needed Sunday, but I'm not needed Sunday. So I don't know what's going on with that. We'll see. I think I'm commentating on Saturday with Ringe.
With Ringe?
Not think. I'm almost positive I'm commentating with Ringe. Yeah. And Sunday, Sunday's your day.
Yeah. As far as I know, they gave me the for sure that I'll be there Sunday. However, as to the length of that and exactly who I'm going to be paired with, that doesn't seem like that's so cemented yet.
So how important is that right now? That's what I think a lot of people. This is something in general fighting game players don't discuss, and we only got a little bit more time left, but I want to kind of get this out there. But how important is commentary for building this kind of brand of competition? You know? Like, is it just for the stories? Is it just for the hype? Is it just for the analysis? Is it everything?
It's go on. Finish.
I mean, if it's everything, like what? How important basically is all of that for building an esports brand for fighting games?
So, my opinion has been the same for years. It's a little of everything, and the problem right now with King of Fighters is people have fallen into that, I don't want to call it trap, but they've fallen into that whole thing where KOF is the hype game. Mm-hmm. Everything needs to be hype, when prior to EVO 2012, no one ever said anything about KOF being the hype game.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it really is because of you. Like, people don't realize this. Not just you, I'm sorry. So it's because of the two of you and the grand finals for KOF. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. EVO 2012 is what did it. And that pretty much cemented that, oh, hey, King of Fighters is this crazy-ass hype game. And it's just a fighting game like everything else. Every fighting game is hype in its own way. The thing is, in order to make something better, you need to build a story. You build a story behind it. You make people feel for one side or the other. Look at L.I. Joe with Street Fighter V.
Very good.
There's a story behind that. People went nuts. You heard that crowd did not get louder than when L.I. Joe was on stage.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And we can do the same for, say, not almost any other game. We can do the same for most other games, just not at that level because it's not Street Fighter V, obviously. But it needs everything. It needs story. It needs analysis. It needs hype. It needs all that. A nice blend of everything. And you need to have two people who can work off each other very well. Both people don't necessarily need to be need to excel in both or in everything. You just need to have one commentator be able to handle one or two things, and the other commentator same thing. If one can handle three, cool. You don't want two people that can handle all four because then it's just going to be a bit too much of everything. You need someone to specialize in one thing and another person to specialize in the other, and that's where commentating duos come into play. Like, say, Ultra Chen. James Chen and David, and then the Steves, and all four of them play off each other very well because they commentate with each other very often. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Rip. Rip can commentate with the Steves. He's great with the Steves, and Rip in general is just great with everybody. But you could see he's more comfortable and he's just better with them.
So commentating on that, the whole storyline thing, yeah, I actually agree on that in the whole scheme too, that those are things that are missing in our communities. And I'm not just talking about KOF, but there are storylines, but they're so nobody knows them, you know. And you could say the same, even I like to watch Guilty Gear a lot. Nothing's really built up for that other than this player is going to play this player and they're really good, you know. Mm-hmm. Or their tournament history, but there's more to it. How much do we know about L.I. Joe? Like, we know so much about that goddamn guy. You know what I mean? So when he came out to play, and there was already a storyline, and everybody was like, "Ooh, yeah, damn, his dad's there. Props to his daddy, yo. Like, oh, that's real. Where's my daddy at? Like, oh, fuck." You know, shit, like, we're such suckers for shit like that. You know, and I'm even saying shit like that for me. Like, oh, I bit right into that. You know, damn, Pops came out. That's some real shit. Nobody respects video games, and his Pops comes out. Yeah. Damn. And he's in top 8. Like, he's probably not a dude that you thought would make top 8, right?
No, not at all.
But when has this ever happened when a dude just makes top 8 and it's like the biggest story ever? You know, he didn't win the money, but he probably won more than everybody else as far as exposure and people knowing him as a player.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Like, if he were just a straight up fighting game player, he probably would already like be one of the highest money making players right now just off of that experience alone. But he has a career,
right?
You know, how do I know that? Why do I know that? You know what I mean? Like, I know all these things about him. I don't know anything about KOF players.
That's about it. Period. And like, as commentators, it's our job to sort of do that and sort of like convey those stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, for the most part, people do an okay job of it. But I don't think that the demand from the product is quite there yet, you know? Like, let's face it, Abe, you and I get on the mic and we start talking about this stuff to the crowd, and the crowd loves it. But the POs and the producers and even the developers are just like, so what, you know? So I almost feel like, you know, they're appreciative of it, but at the same time, they don't quite know what they're working with yet, at least in terms of KOF.
It's kind of like, well, they're not sure what really works. They just know it works, so they assume it works with everybody else.
Right.
You know, and it's also the same way that we know a lot about somebody like Joe. We don't really know what, say, a person like myself or even you to an extent, what we're doing behind the scenes to make stuff work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like how much knowledge we try to take in about each player before we go into it, or, you know, even try to come up with our own stats, because ain't nobody gonna come up with stats for us at this point. I mean, unless it's like some Evo level shit, like nobody's gonna give us stats on tournament entries or whatever. That's all up to us as a community and as commentators to already be knowledgeable of that, to be able to parlay that into not just interesting insight, but interesting conversation to go along with analysis on the game.
Yeah, and I mean, I wish we had stats that we could just read off, and, you know, that would give me a lot more excuses to make awesome graphics for the stream overlay. But yeah, you're right. Absolutely, we have to sort of just grassroots it, all that information.
Yeah,
and it helps build a story, and it helps commentary. And I think to a certain point, it could actually mask some imperfections with casting, is to have that information on hand that you can talk about. But since we're kind of, you know, we're shoestringing it, you know, we got to fire off top, and that's really hard to do. So to that end, yeah, commentary needs to be at a high level at this point, I would say. That's basically
what you just described is a skill set in its own. Like, being able to do that, like, to just immerse yourself into the experience, not just by yourself, but with another person and the crowd at the venue. You know, it's a lot of people have difficulty with that, and it's, to be honest with you, it's a performance. Like, you have to look at it that way. It is 100%. A performance, and I have to be entertaining and insightful at the same time. And I have to be able to work with the chemistry that I have with the person I'm working with, which then that goes with the way we show off this game and how much respect we have for the viewers and for ourselves as to how we present this tournament.
So hopefully, you know, people take notice. Hopefully people just, like, you know, because I think commentary, I don't think it's been disrespected in the past, but I feel like it's been undervalued for sure. And there was a guy that cut a video shortly after Evo And a lot of people gave him heat for it because a lot of the stuff he was talking about in there about, he was talking about not doing shows for free because that ruins the atmosphere for other people who do paid commentary. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that possibly does, but whatever. But he did say something extremely uplifting, I would say. I don't know if it's true or not, but for me it was uplifting. And I always look back to this when I wonder, am I actually doing anything for my scene by just commentating and being entertaining? And he says, you get paid to commentate because you add something to what's being broadcasted. You're actually adding something to the experience. If you're not adding anything, then yeah, they shouldn't pay you, But if you're actually sitting there actively trying to bring an element to the experience that wasn't there before you got there, then yeah, you've become a part of it. And that's what commentators do. They become a part of the game, a part of the tournament, a part of the broadcast. They basically become a part of the whole working system of the esports. And to do it without them, it'll be very noticeable, And I don't think we can go back at this point.
Yeah, I agree, man. We are in dire need of those types of personalities that can carry a stream. And it's not that it's the whole package where it's like, oh, like we could do without a lot of stuff and just have the commentators. Like, that's no way. But we're trying to sell a complete idea, and that is a necessity at this point. So that's how I feel on that.
That's about wrapped up my feelings pretty nicely. Yeah. Oh, well, we went pretty long. Not bad. I know we wanted to play some matches or something, but it looks like it's about time for me to get that baby to bed.
We can play one match.
Oh, I guess we could. Yeah. Are you in the room, Abe? Oh no.
Oh, I'm good, dude. You guys play.
You're gonna be.
Yeah.
You can watch from the Skype.
Yeah, screw this. Let me just do this. We're only gonna play one match, so I don't have to, do anything crazy. Did you already ready up, Chris?
Yeah.
And in case you guys were wondering, man, we're supposed to have a soft hard launch on Monday for Game Goons.
It's gonna be a soft hard launch for our new channel Game Goons, which I believe it says Game Goons on Twitch. So please go subscribe, follow, whatever. We'll be doing it Monday 1 Pacific. 1 o'clock Pacific, and we're gonna go for like 2 to 3 hours. It's gonna be the 4 of us: me, Hellpockets, Lord Walkman, and Metaphysics.
And we're gonna be playing like Fit KOF. We're gonna be playing other games. We're gonna be talking shit. We might have a couple of guests, maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, just to show the scope of what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
It's really just an entertainment hub, I guess you could say, that we're trying to create. Not necessarily only for KOF, but pretty much whatever we feel like doing, I guess.
Yeah, it's not only KOF, but it will definitely be KOF centric.
Yeah.
If people wanted a link, I'll put the link in chat right now. Alright, links in chat.
Oh, I like that trade. So anyway, I heard Reynolds over there playing Joe. I wonder where he got that idea from. Saying Joe is a top 5 anchor or point characters in the game. Can't say I disagree.
Dude, but Dinosaur is like top point character ever, bro.
Yeah, seriously.
If Gibby's playing him.
Terrible matchup. No! No! He's actually frame trapping me. Alright, got
What do you mean? There's no frame traps in KOF.
Yeah, I know, man. What technical term is that? What the hell's a frame trap?
Got him!
I have my seat all the way up, and I'm sitting here hitting my table. Like I'm trying to slide from one button to the next, and I'm scraping my knuckles.
Dude, I hate that. I gotta raise my table. I need one of those rising tables, dude. Like, as soon as we get that Patreon going, we should just get enough money to give us all those rising tables. Damn it! I knew it was coming.
Chris.
I knew
bruh.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. It's okay.
Just get boxes and stack your stuff on it. That's what I'm doing.
Oh no, he knew. I should have just. I would say I would use an invincible reversal, but he doesn't have any.
What do you mean? You gotta hit BC, okay?
Do I?
And then you gotta do Tiger Kick.
Oh yeah, I can just hit BC and Tiger Kick, and the span of 2 frames.
You need to let this character go, bro.
Nah, he's fine. Trust. Oh no!
Yeah, he's fine. And I just get lit up. I do think that Nelson will get you out of some pools, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
I don't need to be the best player with Nelson. I just need to be like, you know, oh yo, that Nelson is sick.
That Athena though.
That Athena though. He knew it was coming. Oh my God! You did that so hard. Oh, okay. All right, can't do it again.
Oh, big punish.
Yep.
Get it,
Better blow it. Better blow it. Run away! Run away!
Oh no! What? That was supposed to be fucking. That was supposed to be grab.
Dude, there's like a 7-way mix-up when you just stand next to her.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, come on.
Come on. Shimoli.
Oh dear.
Oh no, I had it. Yes.
Oh, what? That was command grab.
I don't know.
Like, dude,
I think that was burn knuckle actually.
When you're playing against Athena, you like have to dare to challenge her.
Oh yeah. Like
I need to put myself in harm's way.
You're not allowed to care anymore. Your life is forfeit. He's gonna Galactical Phantom. Oh, I got him!
Hey, you're pretty good on those back dashes.
Gangbusters, man.
What? Bullshit, I rolled on wake up.
Oh! Oh!
Why are you using blowbacks, bro? That's some scrubby shit.
Oh no!
Oh shit!
Oh! Don't you ever oh shit! Yes!
Oh.
You want to do another?
So I was trying to cancel the Galactic Phantom into Climax, but I realized I didn't have enough meter.
I was wondering about that. I was like, oh shit!
So my plan was do the Galactic Phantom, okay, and then hope that you try to do like cancel.
Yeah.
And then I just do that.
Whew.
All right, next one wins.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, this one really counts. Hey, next one's for all the marbles. Hey, that's like when you've been playing first to 10 and like you're on 9, and then the other dude says, "Hey, next one wins." Okay. I'm on 5 though, but next one wins.
Fuck you. Freaking King of
Damn,
Dinosaurs.
bro. That's a shame you couldn't go to SCR, man.
I know. I want to hang out with you guys, man. I really did.
Would have been sick to hang out and have you and Abe commentate too. That would have been dope.
Yeah, and I really want to see Esports Arena because I hear they got a bar, so it's perfect for me.
That's news to me. I didn't know that.
Wait, do they have a bar?
You've been there like 3 times, haven't you? Everybody says they got a bar there.
I think it's like it might be like not in esports, might be like next door.
A concession stand.
Selling tecate.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have tecate light? Oh, thank you. I gotta drive home tonight.
Oh wow, that hit me.
Oh, he's got. Oh, I thought you had combos, man.
Because he's crouching. That's why. And he only hits him when he's blocking. Oh,
Why do you use that janky normal, bro?
I'm just gonna go back B every time. Forget forward B. It's bad. Super? No. No! I was trying to backdash. Ah! Woo!
Yeah, I don't think they have a barn in there
Because
they don't have very much room to begin with.
Maybe
it was converted from a bar. I know that much.
Oh, that just sucks.
Like a brewery or something like that.
It totally does have that infrastructure too. Like, Yeah, I could see that.
Oh, hey.
Oh, now slow down.
Hey.
My internet's.
Oh, bullshit. You see this shit, Abe?
Oh, what the heck?
Oh, he had the mix-up.
It actually dropped.
Can't you just mask those out?
Well, if you hit back A, you have to hit back A before you hit B. If you hit B too early, then you get like the 1-2 punch, and then you get nothing after that. So I gotta, because he's got a target combo like that. He's got so many ways to screw up your inputs. He's a hard character. I want my respect. Oh no! I should have known that was coming. It's okay. He only did level 1.
Man, if you can actually like legit win this matchup. Oh shit!
Look at that damage!
On cue. He's got the mix-ups going. Oh no!
Oh my god! Too far! Too far!
Gibby's on the ropes. He's gonna try some wacky shit. Oh shit! Chris, don't slow down. Let him have it, man. Get in his face. What are you doing?
Oh no!
Stop backing off. Get in there. You have a bionic arm, bro.
Oh my god! I read it too.
Did you try to do it again? You're such a scrub. You're such a scrub. Oh god.
What the?
There you go. No! Oh my
freaking
god.
Freaking worse than like defeat Lee.
Wow.
Freaking worse than.
You had the momentum.
I hit back A like 3 times and it never came out.
Oh, well, looks like Gibby's proving our theories about momentum and being consistent.
Oh, hey.
Oh no!
Punish! Oh! Game Goons in full effect.
Oh, I did my climax there. Like I did quarter circle forward twice. And
you don't have enough meter.
No, I did. I was in max one.
Oh. Sorry, the screen's little. I can't see you lighting up.
Oh man.
What the fuck? Are we in the arcade right now?
Oh shit.
No, Buster Wolf. Okay.
Gibby,
slow down.
Gibby, are you Mexican, dude?
I mean, I've been doing it before the Mexicans were doing it. So yeah, sure, why not?
The one true Mexican?
Yeah, I mean, people have been saying this about me for how long now? God damn it! Oh Jesus!
I think you're gonna get lit, dude. I think you got what's coming to you, Chris. I think he's gonna have to style on you. Oh no!
Oh no! Yes! Oh no!
Dude, hey, one touch, he's dead, bro. It's Chris. He's gonna give you an opening. Oh, don't be anticlimactic, please.
No!
There it is!
Oh, yes! Yeah. Oh, damn it! I had him. Got him!
Let him have it, coach! Oh.
So, that entire round, my impulse were dropping?
Me too.
It sucked. You should have been dead, Chris.
You should have been dead.
No, you should have been dead.
Your Athena should have been dead to the Nelson.
Your Joe should have died so much quicker.
Shout out to Game Goons.
Man.
Game gooning it up, bruh.
Game Goons. Make sure you watch. Oh, I guess we'll be broadcasting from that on Monday. So make sure you follow twitch.tv/GameGoons. Put the link in chat, somebody, I guess. We'll be doing more of that kind of stuff. I won't even be drinking this time because I got to pick up my daughter, so I can't be drunk. So you get sober pockets.
You're such a pro, dude.
I know.
You're such a pro.
You're a class act. Gotta be professional with this, you know?
A couple of class acts, these game gooners.
Oh, man. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching the little analytical breakdown plus the little fun tournament, like, you know, mini first to 2 that we had, 2 out of 3. Super Desperation Radio will be airing still at the same time. We will be doing Game Goons TV before it. 1 p.m. till about when I have to leave. No real format on this episode that's happening. It'll just be us hanging around. This, like I said on last Monday, it's an outlet for us to just kind of go and do a lot of creative things with gaming that we never got to do on Spooky's channel just because of time and space. So now, you know, Abe, Gibby, Tony, and myself have the opportunity to do that. And you know, we're gonna have a lot of fun. And it's not gonna be all KOF. It won't be all fighting games either. We're gonna put a whole bunch of shit. Might even have a Halloween special where maybe.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
You guys want to suit up?
I mean, I might, dude. I might do that for that. But the thing is, like, we got to get somebody to play, like, you know, some fucked up game while we watch.
Okay.
I mean, I can. Well, Anthony's gonna be here for Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I've got Resident Evil. I don't see. This is the problem. You don't want me playing the scary games.
Because you don't get scared.
They do nothing to me.
Yeah, it's no fun.
I played PT. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's gonna scare the shit out of you," and they're like, "Why are you smiling at the fucking shit?" I'm like, because it's funny. It makes me smile.
This dude wants to see me say play Xenoverse beta.
No, what we should do for Halloween is play horrible fighting games.
Actually, that's a good point too. We should. That would be kind of fun. The scariest fighting games in American history.
Fight Fever. Operation Ragnarok.
All right, guys. We'll see you on Monday.
Take it easy, guys. Thanks for listening.
Make sure you watch SoCal Regionals.